The night was still across the sprawling northern forest, a silence disrupted only by the rustling of leaves and the distant howls of wolves. But tonight, the wolves were not alone. Overhead, a dark object cut through the sky, a sleek, silent vessel with metallic tendrils trailing behind it like wisps of smoke. Deep within its hull, something stirred, a caged power, restless and hungry. The alien craft hovered silently for a moment, its sensors sweeping over the wilderness below before a hatch hissed open and a massive, hulking creature descended to Earth. The alien beast landed with a dull, resounding thud, powerful limbs absorbing the impact as it sniffed the air with a cold, calculating precision. Resembling a grotesque fusion of wolf and bear, it stood nearly 8 feet tall, its body armored with an intricate, alien exoskeleton that gleamed in the moonlight. Every muscle rippled as it scanned its surroundings, unfamiliar with this strange, forested terrain yet drawn by the primal urge to hunt. In the alien command ship, far above the Earth's surface, Commander Regath observed his prized creation through a monitor. The beast, like many others he had unleashed across the planet, was a marvel of alien genetic engineering, muscle-bound, relentless, and outfitted with sensory enhancements far surpassing those of any earthly predator. Regath leaned forward, cold satisfaction glinting in his crimson eyes. This planet, with its stubborn inhabitants, was finally going to understand fear. Back in the forest, the alien beast took its first steps on Earth's soil, claws sinking into the dirt as it released a deep, guttural growl that vibrated through the trees. Nearby, a lone wolf, a grizzled pack leader known by his thick, silvered fur and sharp, observant eyes, paused mid-stride. His ears perked up, body tense, sensing something foreign and profoundly wrong in the air. This was not a scent he recognized, and yet it reeked of danger and challenge. The silver wolf let out a low growl, a signal to his pack that trouble was near. One by one, the pack members gathered around him, their eyes gleaming in the dim light as they sniffed the air, tasting the new scent of the intruder. These wolves were seasoned hunters, masters of their forest terrain, and they sensed that something unnatural had entered their realm. But curiosity tempered their caution, and soon they began to track the scent, moving in practiced silence through the underbrush. Ahead, the alien beast, unaware of the wolves trailing it, lumbered through the forest with an almost mechanical gait, sensors pinging and analyzing every sound. Its bioluminescent eyes scanned the trees, alert for any sign of movement. Though it was built for brute force, it possessed an unsettling intelligence, a cold, calculating focus programmed into it by Regath's engineers to anticipate prey behavior. The silver wolf and his pack circled the beast from a safe distance, watching its strange, lumbering movements. It had the massive body of a bear but the pointed, vigilant head of a wolf, and an odor they found almost metallic, tinged with an unknown, bitter musk. For a moment, the silver wolf watched as the beast sniffed the air, pivoting slowly as if aware of something stalking it. The wolf felt the instinctual surge to defend his territory, and his fur bristled, his body lowering to the ground. Then, with a short, sharp bark, the silver wolf commanded his pack to fan out, silently forming a loose ring around the intruder. Each wolf moved with practiced ease, drawing closer while maintaining their cover, eyes never leaving the hulking figure as they closed in. The alien beast stiffened, its ears twitching as it picked up on the faint sounds of the wolves maneuvering around it. With a mechanical whir, its head swiveled, sensors detecting the faint heat signatures in the surrounding darkness. It let out a piercing, guttural roar, a sound so deep and resonant it seemed to shake the very air, a direct challenge to whatever creatures lurked nearby. The silver wolf bared his teeth unfazed, answering the call with a fierce howl that echoed through the forest. This was a territory standoff, and the pack was ready, one by one. The wolves howled in response, a chorus that enveloped the alien creature in defiant sound. The beast's sensors flared as it turned, attempting to track every movement. But the wolves were fast, weaving between trees and keeping just out of reach, baiting the creature into chasing shadows. Unable to understand this coordinated tactic, the beast lashed out, slashing at the air with massive claws, tearing into the ground and trees, but hitting nothing. The pack leader watched, his cold gaze unwavering. This creature, with all its size and technological enhancements, was new to the forest and oblivious to the strategies refined by countless generations of Earth's predators. Above, Commander Regath observed the scene with interest, noting the resilience and coordination of these Earth animals. Curious, he murmured to his officers, his fingers tapping thoughtfully on the armrest. These creatures were nothing like the prey his beasts were trained to hunt in controlled simulations. They worked together, responding with precision and a primal courage that made them seem far more than mere animals. Regatha's satisfaction faltered slightly, but he dismissed the notion as quickly as it arose. The beast, he thought, would soon have these creatures under control. But on the ground, the alien beast was tiring, its movements growing less precise as it lashed out again and again, missing its quarry each time. The wolves darted in and out, snapping at its flanks, relentless as they drew the creature deeper into the heart of their territory, where the underbrush was thick and the ground uneven. By the time the silver wolf delivered the final signal, the alien beast was surrounded, panting heavily, every sensor alert, yet struggling to keep pace with the cunning hunters. A low growl rumbled from the silver wolf's throat as he lunged forward, fangs bared, his pack surging in unison behind him. The first clash between Earth's predators and the alien invader had begun, and the forest erupted in a symphony of snarls, growls, and the relentless thud of struggle. Dawn was beginning to seep through the trees, casting a soft, pale light over the forest floor. The alien beast had suffered through the night, each minute a relentless barrage of attacks from the wolves, darting in and out of its reach. Wounds marked its once pristine armor, claws and fangs leaving dents and cracks across its thick, metallic hide. This forest, teeming with life and danger, was now an unyielding battleground. The alien beast roared, a mixture of fury and exhaustion, trying to shake off the fatigue from the wolves' relentless assault. Above in the command vessel, Commander Regatha's expression had shifted from cold confidence to simmering frustration. His prized creation, built to inspire fear and destroy with ease, was now bloodied, barely holding its ground against these coordinated Earth predators. Regath clenched his jaw and adjusted the controls, fine-tuning the beast's programming to intensify its aggression and override any sense of self-preservation. This creature would either conquer or die trying. But the wolves weren't the only defenders of this land. As the beast lumbered forward, regrouping in a small clearing, it felt the ground tremble beneath it. Emerging from the shadows, a massive bear, a grizzled old male, thick with muscle and scars from years of defending his territory, sniffed the air, his small, dark eyes narrowing at the sight of the strange intruder. The bear and the alien beast locked eyes, sizing each other up in the quiet tension of the morning light. This bear, known to the wolves and other forest creatures as a fierce warrior, stood his ground, unyielding and fearless. He had lived through harsh winters, brutal fights, and scarce resources. This intruder, no matter how large or strange, was nothing more than another threat to be confronted. The wolves circled the clearing, watching as the bear lumbered forward, its massive paws leaving deep impressions in the soil. The alien beast, sensing a new challenge, let out a guttural growl, baring rows of sharp, serrated teeth. It charged, shaking the ground as it barreled toward the bear with lethal intent. The bear stood his ground, waiting until the last possible moment before swiping a massive paw across the beast's armored face. The blow connected with a resonant clang, cracking the metal plating and sending the alien beast skidding backward. The bear, undeterred, pressed forward, delivering blow after blow, his claws raking against the beast's armor, targeting the weak points exposed by the wolves' attacks. The alien beast attempted to retaliate, swinging its claws in wide arcs, but the bear was fast, dodging with surprising agility for his size. Each swipe of the beast's claws tore through the air, but it missed by inches every time. The bear's instinct honed by years of brutal survival in the wilderness. Meanwhile, the wolves tightened their formation around the clearing, working together with calculated precision. The silver wolf, ever watchful, barked orders to his pack, guiding them into place. When the alien beast stumbled, a younger wolf darted forward, biting into a vulnerable gap in the beast's armor before retreating just as swiftly, avoiding the retaliatory strike. This was the way of Earth's predators, each creature operating within the pack, following the instincts that had been bred into them over generations. They moved like a well-oiled machine, each wolf playing a crucial role, exploiting the beast's every weakness. Above, Commander Regath watched with mounting disbelief. His creature was supposed to instill terror, not endure humiliation. Earth's predators, he realized, were far more cunning than he had anticipated. These wolves and their allies didn't just react. They strategized, a trait he had underestimated in lower creatures. Regath gritted his teeth, seething at the setback but determined to adapt. With a quick sequence of commands, he activated a secondary feature in the beast, a volatile energy core implanted deep within its chest, a last resort weapon. On the ground, the silver wolf sensed a change in the creature, an unfamiliar hum building within its massive body. The beast's eyes flared with a renewed intensity, and its movements became sharper, quicker. But the wolves did not falter. The silver wolf issued a sharp bark, signaling his pack to split and scatter, creating space around the creature as it started to radiate heat. The bear, however, stood his ground, watching the alien beast with wary eyes. He saw the creature's change in stance, its bared teeth gleaming in the faint morning light, and understood it was preparing for something desperate. With a powerful roar, the bear lunged, crashing into the beast's side with all his strength, knocking it off balance and away from the pack. The ground shuddered beneath their combined weight, leaves and debris flying into the air. The alien beast staggered back, disoriented by the bear's sudden assault. Yet the hum from its core grew louder, and in its eyes glinted a fierce, almost desperate light. The silver wolf, recognizing the danger, let out a low growl, signaling his pack to move further back. The bear, though battered and bloodied, unleashed a final powerful strike, his claws raking deep into the exposed circuits beneath the creature's broken armor. Sparks flew as the creature shuddered, unable to contain the energy building within its core. It let out a twisted guttural howl as the volatile powers surged through its systems, breaking down control and overriding all safety protocols. At that moment, the wolves retreated to a safe distance, watching as the alien beast faltered, thrashing about as it tried to contain the uncontrollable energy. The bear gave one last, triumphant roar before turning to rejoin the wolves, limping but victorious. As the alien beast's core reached critical mass, it erupted in a flash of blinding light, sending a shockwave through the forest that shook the trees and scattered the underbrush. When the dust settled, only a smoldering crater remained where the creature had stood. The wolves and the bear regrouped, observing the scene in cautious silence. They had won this battle, their instincts and unity proving too much for even the most engineered of alien threats. The silver wolf raised his head to the sky and howled, a call of victory that echoed through the forest, joined by his packmates and the bear in a chorus that reverberated through the trees. In that moment, Earth's predators had sent a message back to the invaders. They were ready for whatever beast the aliens dared to unleash. The alien command vessel hovered silently above the smoldering forest, casting a shadow across the trees below. Inside the dim control room, Commander Regath stared at the monitor, his fingers tightening around the console. He watched the pack of wolves gather near the crater where his prize war beast had been destroyed, their howls echoing defiantly across the landscape. The realization was settling in, a bitter truth he had desperately resisted. Earth was not a land to be conquered easily, and its creatures were no prey. Regath's prized beasts, genetically engineered hunters with sharpened claws, armor-plated hides, and ruthless instincts had failed him. These creatures, which had triumphed across dozens of worlds, lay defeated on this hostile planet. His jaw clenched as he reviewed the footage of each failed assault. Pack after pack of Earth animals had risen against his beasts. The wolves, bears, and even the K-9 military units had not only resisted but had systematically overpowered the beasts he had designed for intimidation and destruction. As the realization took hold, Ragath felt a flicker of respect for these Earth predators. They were intelligent, organized, and relentless, far more capable than he had anticipated. His chest tightened as he considered his next move. Across the control deck, his second-in-command, Officer Thurrock, watched him silently. The younger officer's eyes glinted with skepticism, an unspoken challenge that tested the commander's pride. After all, Ragath had assured the Council that Earth's conquest would be swift, a mere formality to secure the mineral-rich planet. Ragath straightened, determined to salvage some measure of victory from this setback. He reached over to the console, activating a new protocol. "Deploy the final wave," he commanded, his voice as cold and hard as steel. "These humans and their creatures will know the price of defiance." Yet even as he spoke, an unease gnawed at him. The beasts he had created were already the apex predators of his arsenal. If they had failed, what hope did a final wave bring? He clenched his fists, shoving aside the doubt. There was no turning back now. On the forest floor below, a squad of military K-9 units had arrived, having been summoned to the area after the first sighting of alien creatures. Led by Sergeant Keller, a veteran handler, they moved quietly, assessing the scene where the alien beast had met its end. The crater still smoldered, and the wolves had withdrawn into the shadows, watching the new arrivals with cautious interest. Keller knelt by the edge of the crater, studying the shattered metal fragments strewn across the ground. His K-9 partner, a massive German shepherd named Rex, sniffed the air alert and ready. Keller knew these dogs were trained to confront the most dangerous threats, but the sight before him was unlike anything he'd encountered. His mind raced with possibilities. This wasn't an ordinary incursion. It was a calculated invasion attempt. Suddenly, the air around them vibrated with an eerie hum, a telltale sign of alien technology. Above, Ragath's final wave descended, releasing a fresh pack of smaller, faster alien creatures. These beasts were built for agility, with spiked limbs and venomous fangs designed to incapacitate any enemy in their path. The creatures landed with a feral hiss, immediately dispersing and advancing toward the K-9 squad. Keller tightened his grip on Rex's leash, issuing a quick command. The dog bristled, ears pinned back as he locked eyes on the approaching creatures. Beside them, the other K-9 units tensed, their handlers whispering words of encouragement. As the creatures closed in, the dogs launched forward, teeth bared, muscles rippling under their fur. Keller and his team moved in unison with their partners, their tactical precision a testament to the deep bond between human and K-9. The battle was brutal and swift. The alien beasts, though nimble, were disoriented by the dog's relentless ferocity. Rex lunged at one of the creatures, his powerful jaws clamping down on its exposed limb, tearing through alien sinew and circuitry. The creature shrieked, thrashing in a desperate attempt to escape, but Rex held firm, bringing it down with practiced efficiency. All around him, the other K-9 units mirrored Rex's actions, working as a synchronized force, driving back the intruders. The wolves joined the fray once more, their coordinated attacks overwhelming the alien creatures from every angle. A large black wolf, scarred and fierce, darted in and out of the skirmish, his agility and experience apparent with each precise strike. The aliens, outnumbered and outmatched, fell one by one, their alien shrieks drowned by the howls and snarls of Earth's defenders. Back on the command vessel, Ragath watched in disbelief as his final wave was dismantled by Earth's defenders. Every tactic, every advantage he'd counted on, had been stripped away by the brutal adaptability of Earth's creatures. His mind raced, searching for a way to salvage his mission. But the cold truth was undeniable. His engineered beasts were no match for the primal fury of Earth's natural predators. In the end, It wasn't just strength or strategy that had defeated him. It was unity, the unspoken alliance between human and beast. Regath's entire approach had been based on dominance, control, and fear. Here, on this hostile planet, he faced creatures who fought not out of fear but for survival, for territory, for kin. A warning beacon sounded in the vessel, signaling a system alert. Thurok stepped forward, his expression unreadable, but there was no need for words. The mission was lost. In silence, Regath turned to the control panel and issued the command to retreat. The vessel lifted higher, pulling away from the forest below, its engines humming in reluctant surrender. As the vessel ascended, the wolves and military dogs watched from the ground, their keen eyes tracking the retreating ship until it was mirrored in the sky. Victory belonged to them. The creatures of Earth who had faced the alien threat and emerged triumphant. The silver wolf led his pack to the edge of the clearing, his gaze never wavering as he let out a final, resonant howl, a message that echoed far beyond the forest. Regath heard it, even within the insulated command room. It was a sound he would never forget, a reminder of the resilience he had underestimated. He knew now that Earth was a place better left untouched, a world of unyielding defenders with primal bonds he could neither understand nor break. As the vessel vanished into the vastness of space, Earth's hunters turned back to the forest, each creature returning to its territory, each bond strengthened by the battle they had fought together. The wolves, the K9 units, the bear, all of them had shown what it meant to be Earth's defenders. And in the silence that followed, they sailed into their realm once more, undisturbed and victorious.